The difference between a 10K a month and a 50K a month business isn't working harder, it's having the right system. Over the past 6 months, I've rebuilt my entire business using a now proven 6-part framework that I've used now to scale not just 2 of my own businesses to 50K months, but dozens of my clients' businesses too, across completely different industries and niches. And here's the really good part. I'm only working about 20 hours a week. Most business owners think scaling means more hustle, more offers, more complexity. But it's actually the exact opposite. The businesses that are stuck at 10K are drowning in the learning phase, trying everything, mastering nothing, experimenting a lot, and just driving themselves crazy. But 50K business months, that's the refinement phase. That's where you strip away the noise and build a system that actually works. So if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels in the 10K hustle and start building a business that scales without burning you out, let's dive in. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Haley Dale, a content and marketing coach who helps course creators, coaches, and service providers scale their businesses using content systems and savvy strategies. I have personally scaled 2 of my own businesses to 50K months, but more than that, I've also helped dozens more do the same with their businesses too, across many different niches and industries through one-on-one coaching and my program, Signature 50K Months. In part 1 of the scaling series, which you can check out here, I talked to you through why your 10K hustle is sabotaging your 50K potential and 6 fixes or shifts that can help you scale. Now in part 2, I'm taking you behind the scenes to show you how each of the 6 elements informs my own business model. Just for reference, here is the 50K per month ecosystem that I'll be showing you how I customize. So here's the 6-month process of setting up the foundations for your 50K monthly business. In month 1, I focused exclusively on designing my signature offer. This is one of those things that I don't think that someone who is just starting out in business can really do right away. For most people, you have to go through that whole trial and error phase to figure out your signature framework and then translate that into an offer, whether it's a service offer, coaching program, group program, whatever. I've had 3 signature offers in my 10 plus years in business, but it wasn't until I was about 2 years in that I ever came up with my first one. I don't think there's any way I could have done so effectively without guessing before having those 2 years under my belt. Puzzle piece number 1 in my ecosystem is my coaching program, Signature 50K Months, and it's really a culmination over 10 years of experience streamlined into a step-by-step blueprint that's completely tailorable to really any business and goals, as long as they're coaches, service providers, or course creators, anyone who's kind of an expert in their field. What I love so much about this program is that it's coaching and curriculum, so it brings together all of my strengths into a journey that's now been proven again and again to work. So in month 1, I focused on naming, creating the sub-brand for the program, formalizing the framework, pulling together the templates and tutorials, writing and designing the sales page, and mapping out every single touch point of the overall client experience. As you can probably imagine, after 10 years in business, I have a plethora of offers, but some have been retired, many have been repackaged into other offers, and a handful of which I still sell are, still available to sell. So month 1 of this journey was all about refinement, asking myself some really tough questions about what I want to be known for in my business, how all of my past experience has led to this moment and this offer right now, where I'm not burning my business down, but really rebuilding with intention so I can have more simplicity in my business model, which I'm really craving, and really focus on where I can make the biggest difference for people. Once my signature offer was all ready to go in month 2, I moved on to creating and running a signature launch. My main goal with the signature launch is to have something that I can run again and again multiple times a year. When it comes to a signature launch, the goal is to view it as a long-term asset. This helps you launch more often with less upfront work and provides lots of opportunities for improvements and testing out new things every single time you launch it. My approach is to choose maybe 1 to 3 things per launch to layer on or update or experiment with. For example, I might decide, hey, for this launch, I want to include affiliates or run an extra live session for Q&As. What's great about this kind of adding things over time is that those are also assets that I can use in future launches without much work, depending on how they performed. Plus, by adding just 1 to 3 things a launch max, I'm better able to isolate what worked and what didn't. The other thing that I do is have two slightly different versions of the signature launch tailored to the specific seasons when I launch them. So the same basic bones, but tailored to maybe the end of the year or spring refresh. Here's an overview of my signature launch. So the launch event is my 90-day scaling OS retreat. I designed this event specifically as something that my audience can really benefit from doing again and again every time I launch it. And then everything else is prepared and can be updated and scheduled within a single afternoon if I needed to, including the launch plan, event opt-in page, the sign-up system, live sales page, onboarding automations, follow-up emails, full social media plans with those slightly different versions of messaging based on, like I said, on the season of the launch. I recommend that my clients run their signature launches 2 to 4 times per year. Currently, I'm running mine 2 times a year, but that's because there's a cap on the number of people that I can work with inside Signature 50K months at any given time. So this is puzzle piece number 2 of my own 50K a month ecosystem and what it looked like at the end of month 2. After my signature launch was in the bag, it was time to focus on building a signature funnel for my offer. I have been a sales funnel strategist for 10 years, but I do struggle a bit when it comes to my own funnels, making time for them, having bandwidth creatively and time-wise. So I quite literally used my own templates and training step by step to get this thing finished for the first draft. But the tricky thing about funnels, and something that often trips people up, is that finishing the funnel is not the finish of the work. A whole new type of work is just beginning, which is testing, optimization, and scaling. If you do not prioritize this phase after finishing your funnel, it's likely operating at 50% or less of its actual potential. This is the most important piece of any funnel work and something that should happen every single month after launching it. I have a system that I use for optimizing on a monthly basis. The signature funnel runs all year, although I do turn it off during my twice a year live enrollment period, which hint, 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 is currently happening. So if you want some help building out your own 50K monthly ecosystem, check out the link below this video and I'd love to chat. But I turn off the funnel during pre-launch and sales phase of the launches so that I have a really clear messaging outwardly and behind the inbox doors of my email marketing. Here's a little run through of my signature funnel. So it starts with an interactive training and template to help people map out their 50K per month business model. I designed it specifically to help people get a lot of clarity on what this model would look like in their business and help them identify key changes that would need to be made. The big theme of scaling to 50K months, as I've said a million times, take a drink whenever I say it, is refinement and streamlining. So there's likely a lot of business clutter that needs to be cleared away if you're going to reach 50K months and beyond. I also chose this freebie after testing a few other options because of how well it attracts and validates people who are serious about scaling their business, so I can really focus my energy on those that I'm most able to help through coaching and signature 50K months. So for my interactive training and template, I have a high value follow-up email sequence that continues to support them in figuring out what they really want from their business and inviting them to learn more about working together with a free 50K roadmap call. Though some people jump straight to sign up, I really do like to talk to people to make sure we're both a great fit for each other before spending 6 months together. This is what puzzle piece number 3 of my own 50K a month ecosystem looks like with a signature funnel in place. Once my funnel was good to go, it was time to revisit my signature content systems. It's probably not a surprise that my content systems are pretty well established at this point, but that doesn't mean that they don't get messy over time, and mine are in major need of cleanup. So I break my content systems into 4 separate components. Number 1 is my quarterly traffic plan. Especially now that my sales funnel is up and running, I wanted to make sure that I'm feeding it enough traffic to reach my goals. So many people tell me that their funnels aren't working. Not working, I need you to fix it, and we'll start the audit, and it becomes clear almost immediately that the numbers aren't actually bad, but there isn't enough traffic going through it. My funnel audits are guided by funnel TLC, so traffic, leads, and conversions, and probably 80% of the funnels I diagnose are primarily a traffic problem. This isn't to say that there aren't opportunities to optimize other areas without traffic, but without traffic, none of it will work. So each quarter I choose 2 platforms to focus on, one for engagement, so having two-way conversations and interactions with the people who are already following me and already kind of in my orbit, and one for attracting new people, aka traffic, getting my content, my lead magnet, my offers in front of new eyeballs. I want to commit to each of these platforms for a full 90 days in order to see how they truly perform, learn as much as I can about them through doing or hiring out, and really give them a chance, basically. Number 2 is my monthly content calendar. So I choose one offer to focus on for the month, and all of my content leads to it. Not in an overtly salesy way, but in a reverse engineered, let me center the customer who this offer is for, their struggles, their goals, what can help them deal with those things the best. Many months, this focus is my signature offer by way of my funnel freebie. My content is another tool that I use to get traffic to and through my funnel. I plan this out on a monthly basis and have a whole plan. So on a monthly basis, I have a whole mini planning routine that I use to create this monthly revenue plan, the content map, and editorial calendar, so I know exactly what to create and what to publish when. Number 3 is my weekly content bundle. So this is my long form content, which usually goes out once a week unless I'm on a mini sabbatical and repurposing or during a launch. I am a writer first and foremost, so I write the blog post, record it as a video, and then rip the audio for a podcast. I think of this long form content as a weekly bundle, which helps me identify exactly what pieces I need each week for it to work. So for my particular weekly content bundle, this includes the blog, the video, the podcast, the email newsletter, and 2 social media posts. So one reel that's essentially a commercial for my blog, and one carousel, plus all of the images, including weekly pins. I have a workflow for all of these things that help me get all of this done in a few hours a week. Full transparency here. I have a video editor who does the podcast audio too, and also a VA who schedules everything out, since that's one part I definitely suck at. But I've taken back more and more of the content creation onto my plate because 1, I enjoy it, and 2, as the voice and face of my brand, I need to be integrally involved. Number 4 is my daily content routine. So I call this my daily power hour, and I break it into 3 parts. So 25 minutes I spend writing a daily post, whether it's an email or like those other reels and posts that are going to go out this week. 25 minutes publishing a post, so my publishing habit, and then 10 minutes spent on daily engagement. This is the very first thing I do when I start work. I even host a little power hour a few days a week for customers to drop in on for some extra accountability. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do a vlog or a deep dive on any of these routines. So this is month 4, and it was all focused on setting up my content systems, updating templates, and testing workflows. So that's piece number 4 of my 50K a month business ecosystem. Next came the fun part, so using advanced funnel strategies to finish fleshing out the rest of my offer ecosystem. One of the big misconceptions when it comes to signature offers is that it replaces everything else in your offer suite, and that's just really not the case. It's all about intention. So one of the things that separates a lot of businesses stuck at 10K and below is having so many offers that it gets confusing for your audience about how best to work with you, what you're known for, and confusing for you about what to promote when. A signature offer is the answer to that confusion, but we can still benefit from having a complete offer suite with offers that complement each other. So in my business, this is what it looks like. So number 1, I have a small offer stack that I use for list building. Well, I have the freebie as the lead in for my funnel. I also switch it up and promote this too as an alternative entry point. I find that the leads that I attract using this paid offer stack are much more likely to convert, which makes sense from a data perspective. From a 2025 email tool tester study, they found that past clients only need 1 to 3 touch points to upgrade to something else versus cold leads, which need 20 to 50 touch points before they're ready to say yes. My small offer stack starts with my content sales engine and has an order bump, the content campaign generator, as well as an upsell. Then I have a premium monthly recurring revenue offer, which is my ongoing one-on-one coaching. Well, I definitely have clients clients who just jump straight to coaching, like I just want to do it this way. For the most part, it's people who graduated from Signature 50K months who need ongoing support as they continue scaling or streamlining their business using content. This offer also comes with ongoing access to Signature 50K month, the curriculum, after the 6 months is over, which is an extra perk for alumni. Next, I have my downsell offer for those who aren't quite ready to scale to 50K months, which is the 10K monthly content system. I have funnels and email sequences that lead from one to the next based on getting the right offers in front of the right people at the right time. So after month 5, this is what my 50K a month business ecosystem looks like. In my final step of my 6-month rebuild everything without succumbing to the urge to burn it all down, I did a sprint on my CEO systems and day-to-day operations. Just like with the signature content systems, this is broken down into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily routines. Here's a sneak peek. On a quarterly basis, I get out of town or sometimes doing a staycation for a minimum of 1 day solo business planning retreat. I have a whole process that I run through as a deep dive review on the business, team roles, and how I'm showing up. Then I create my 90-day plan and scaling OS blueprint. Next, monthly, I'm collecting measurements, running my signature funnel optimization process, and reviewing my CEO dashboard. Then I have weekly rhythms and theme days. So on Mondays, I have a team stand-up meetings and delegate out assignments for the week. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are for deep work on priority projects. Thursdays are for meetings and weekly content recording. And then Fridays are for CEO tasks like weekly measurements, reviewing financials, going over team assignments, and making sure the content is all ready to go for the following week. I also plan my day-by-day action list for the coming week on Fridays too, so I don't go into Monday not knowing what I have to do. Finally, I have my daily pulses where I focus on things that I do as the CEO of my business every day. I might have a rotating habit that I'm focused on for a specific quarter or month, but here are the staples. I have a 60-minute power hour for my daily content, which I've already talked about, a 20-ish minute check-in for team, clients, inbox, and spend time on my CEO journal, just thinking about the business, mapping out new promotions or launches or strategies, and getting into big picture mode. These operations are the backbone that drives my business forward and keeps things flowing in the right direction. It's also how I work around 20 hours a week in this season where I'm really focused on my personal goals. Speaking of getting your business to 50K months and beyond, check out how we can work together in my new program, Signature 50K Months, in the link below, and check out this video, which is actually part 1 of the Scaling to 50K Months series.